depths of my soul. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. I was wondering if I should anyway, bless God, thanking God. I smile, singing, have some family pictures in front of me. My wife over there smiling, and picture here of my children. Memories. All right. I want to give God thanks today. The song says, yes, Lord, and it's yes. You know, we live in a world today where when people ask questions, they ask anything, they like to hear yes. But once in a while, they like to hear no, but most I hear or yes, because whatever you ask for, you're hoping that you get it. Okay? And so when God asks us something, God expects us to say yes. So like I'm losing my voice. Anyway, our lesson today is new wine into new bottles. You know, wine is a thing that creates a lot of excitement in the world today. I really I've been to luncheons and occasion where they have wine. I still can't get it why people are crazy about wine. I've tried to drink it and said, I don't know what's with it. People get so crazy. People drinking wine and whiskey and rum and champagne, especially rum. It's very strong, right? Understand, like in Russia, the people actually feed on the vodka, right? I was reading a thing on, I think it was on, someone was reading, it was said that they were transporting some elephants in Russia, and that was very cold. So they gave them some vodka to drink. And the elephants got excited with it, but it was really to raise their body temperature so they could deal with the cold. That sounds crazy, right? But anyway, so people prone to drinking wine and celebration with wine. I mean, for some of us, wine is like an occasional thing, but in Italian families, Jewish families, and so where people grew up with vineyards around them, it's just a natural thing for them to be drinking wine. So it was in the time of the Bible that vineyards were common, and to have a vineyard was a special thing. Okay, to have a vineyard was a special thing. I don't want to say it was like it was a special thing for you to have a vineyard, because from it you got the grape, and from the grape you get the wine, right? And the wine is from the vine, and this grape, there are three plants in the Bible that God compared this church to, and is the vine, the grape, right? And the olive, number 2, and the third is the fig. But the vine is actually tops, right? Where Jesus himself said that in John 15, what he says, I am the true vine, And my father is a husbandman. Right? Husbandman. My wife heard that. So, he's a husbandman and he's a true vine. A true vine. He said, he compared himself to a vine. Right? And I think it's in Isaiah 6, I think it is, where God said he planted a choice vine. And when he looked for the choice grapes, it bore wild grapes. He was talking about Israel, which became very abominable. And you see, that's the thing. It's like, you know, you might have children and you want the best for them, you expect the best, and you put out all that effort. And then one day you get a call saying that must come to the police station to bail your son or whatever. I said, like, boy, is this what I taught you? Why were you at such and such a place? You know what I'm saying? Or why were you so and so? How did you get into that kind of company? And so Israel got in the company of idolatry and witchcraft and all these things, drifted far away from God. Okay? And so God said, he planted a choice vine and it bring forth choice grapes and it brought forth wild grapes. So the grape is very important in the life of the children of Israel until this very day, and in many countries. You know what I'm saying? So I lady in the supermarket one day and I was buying, I think, the grape juice or something, and she said to me, Italian, she said, we don't drink that. You know, it's like, oh, that's fake. You know, that's what she said, like, that's fake. We don't drink that. Because they're used to the pure thing, right? In the olden time, the Bible tells you about the butler in the time of Joseph. He took the grapes and actually he had it to be strong. He squeezed the grape into the cup, the Pharaoh's cup, and then Pharaoh would just drink it. So he was drinking what? Pharaoh was drinking the new wine. So we understand what is this new wine. The scripture tells us that in Matthew 9, I think, verse 17, Jesus was talking about new wine being put into new bottles. But this was all a parable. He said, because some people asked him that his disciples should fast. And I really don't understand. Only I think I have to wait until Jesus comes. I don't know why the angel or someone explained it to me. But when it comes to fighting against the devil, the strongest weapon I know about is fasting. Okay? Anointing with oil and all of these things, prayers and all that, but prayer with fasting, I mean, right? It's give it a push that is like a socket to the devil. Okay? And we can't explain it. It's just like when we don't understand how pain comes into the body. You can be feeling so well right now, and all of a sudden, pain could just come in, and sometimes for days it could hold you, and especially in the stomach, that's a worse place to have it, right? So, here it is that there's a thing named fasting. Now some people do fasting just for their body, just to, you know, keep their shape together. But fasting, that's why fasting must be with prayer to God. When fasting is with prayer before the Almighty, then it is a powerful weapon against the enemy. But if it's just fasting, just eat the food because you want to keep your shape, then that's like just starving yourself eating food. Okay, deliberately starving yourself. But when we do it according to how the scripture said it, and how it actually will work. Okay? It always works. It always works. And so the scripture said, speaking about fasting, he said, no man putteth a piece of new cloth into an old garment, right? Because it makes that which is put in to fill it, take it up from the garment, and the rent is made worse. So he said, neither do men put new wine into old bottles, lest the bottles break, and the wine runneth out, and the bottles perish. But new wine must be put into new bottles, and both are preserved. I like that statement. So that means you will still have the bottle, and you have the new wine. So both are preserved. Now you might say to yourself, but how can new wine really break a bottle? And what is the difference? But of course the writers are writing according to what they have now, or what they had then, but that's not what they used in the time of Jesus. They never had wine, they never had bottles for that. They had, I think it was called a wine skin. And this thing was made of skin, like leather. It was, and of course it could stretch, it could expand with the, what you call it now, it's not condensation, it's the fermentation of the wine, because as it's locked up inside that wineskin, it would start to like expand. The gases build up in it. The same thing would happen if you put it in a barrel, which properly is called a keg, right? And you put that inside of it, the same thing would happen. And what they do is that, like, they would say, I put this down here, and the next generation will open it. So that could be 25, I don't know, 50 years, whatever. As people open that thing, it's strong. And if it gets too strong, it could actually blow up the keg, because it gets stronger. Right? It gets stronger as the years go by. But you can't put that strong wine into the keg. You can't put that old wine then into the wineskin, because basically that wine, once you open it, it has done its course. Somebody has to now drink it. That's it. It has done its course. Right? It cannot be put into a new wineskin. Okay? And the scripture said it would actually blow it up. Okay? Because it has been fermenting, and now it is just too strong to go into an old wineskin. Oh, I mixed up. You can't go back into the old wineskin, because the old wineskin cannot take the pressure, but it can go. And basically what the Lord is saying is that you can't mix the two. Let me just get it right. He said that the old wineskin, as I said to you, with that old wine, was run its course, and that's finished. You don't see like when they take up that keg, and then afterward they go back and put new wine into it again, because that keg cannot deal with the pressure of the new wine. It cannot stay for another 25 years, another 50 years, another 100 years. Okay, it cannot do it. It's had to run its course. So that new wine is taken out. People drink it, okay, or whatever they want to do with it, and the keg is disposed of. Same thing with the wineskin. It's disposed of, because you can't use it again. You know, and the child of God requires a new birth, and the scripture is clear about it. It said, it said, the scripture said that we are made a new creation, right? The old things are passed away, and all things are become new. Because if we are going to stay in the old state, we cannot deal with the new wine. We'll not. Let me get to a scripture here. I never had this one in it, but the scripture said, it says here, now if we dead with Christ, I'm reading from Romans chapter 6. Okay, And it says here, for now we be dead with Christ, verse 8, we believe that we shall live with him, knowing that Christ being raised from the dead dieth no more, death has no more dominion over him. For in that he died unto sin once, but in that he liveth unto God. I think I'm not getting the verse away the one here. Anyway, the verse that's talk about the new creation, right? I think that is 2 Corinthians chapter 5. Maybe I should have found it before. But the scripture is telling us that when we become children of God, when we become children of God, we are made new. And if we are not new, many times you see you try to put something into something and it's already full. Okay? If we are not emptied of the old man, right, then we cannot receive the new man. Okay? If we are, the Bible said, we are buried with Christ and risen, right? Oh, I think that's a verse, of course, it said. That, that we should walk in newness of life. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Okay. It says here, how shall we, it said here, therefore, yeah, that's the verse. Yeah, go back to Romans chapter 6. It says here, therefore we are buried with him by baptism into death, that like as Christ was raised from the dead by the glory of the Father, even so we also should walk in newness of life. Right? That's the verse I wanted. I just thought I was at the wrong spot, but that's a verse I know it there. In newness of life. We're talking about a new life. Okay? And this wineskin that the scripture is talking about, or the bottle, what do you think it is? It's not the green bottle standing on the wall, or we used to listen to as a child, and one should fall and be 9 green bottles stand on the wall. Remember that like a thing? We sing? 10 green bottles and 1 fall and 9 green bottles. The bottle that Christ is talking about is this tabernacle. We are the bottles. We are the wineskins. Okay? And the wine he's talking about is the virtue that comes from fasting and prayer. Okay? And sometimes, you know, that's why the Bible tells you about the publican and the